Oh, there you are, YouTube. We're making our way out to the movie theater today to see The Hunger Games, The Song of Fire and Ice. Is that what it's called? Nope, it's called The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Song and... Nope, it's called The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? Okay, I got it right that time. So yeah, this is, I've seen the Hunger Games movies and my wife has read this book. So I'm really excited to see what she has to say about it. If she thinks it's better than the book or if the book was better, compare and contrast all of that. She told me all about the book as she read each chapter. She basically relayed the information to me so I didn't have to read it. But yeah, my favorite thing is watching a movie. So I finally get to watch the movie and we're going to head there now. Did I mention we're watching it in IMAX? Because we are. Very excited about that. So let's get inside, maybe take a look at some of the posters. We got the standee here for Wish, which I don't think many people saw. Journey to Bethlehem. Oh, there's Napoleon. I want to see that. I think it's a long one, right? I'm interested in it. And this is what we are here to see. Again, we're seeing it in IMAX, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, part of the Hunger Games. Hey, look, it's me. I'm Thanksgiving dinner. Eat me. The Holdovers. I want to see. Oh, hey, Love Actually. But The Holdovers, another Christmas movie that I really want to see. I'm going to check that out. I love Paul Giamatti, and hey, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. I'm actually very excited for that, especially because I hear it's similar to the cartoon. Waitress, that's the musical though, not the movie. Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage. More Napoleon stuff here. Okay. And then Killers of the Flower Moon, already saw that. Feel free to search for my review if you would like. And then who do we have here? Beyonce. And now to the theater, the IMAX. Make sure those phones are off. Hanging tree. All right, we are back home, and I thought that was wonderful. I thought that was really good. I liked that movie so much, and I feel like I'm maybe surprised at how much I liked it, because I was just thinking, I'd go in and be like, oh, that was pretty good. But I feel like I was, like at the end, I was like, whoa, that was good. And from what my wife told me about the books, like as she was reading, she was, spilling the details on the book. And it felt like it was playing out perfectly, everything that I was seeing. And then afterwards I asked her, I was like, hey, did you find any major differences? And there were only small minor differences, and a lot of times those were sort of taken care of in just like a small motion might happen on screen, and then it sort of fills in the gap a little bit. Like somebody gets bit by a snake, and in the book their story continues a little bit, but it doesn't really lead to much. I guess it leads, I got a hair in my face that I'm just trying to get rid of, and it like leads to some stuff that may get a little too like visually sci-fi for the movie, but it works in the book, right? And where is it, my mustache hair? And but in this, it's just sort of something, the person gets bit by a snake, and then I'm gonna, I guess, reveal this. They're given an injection, and that's all we see. And then that we don't get to see anymore. But if you read the book, that's enough for the reader to be like, oh, okay, that's being addressed. That's being addressed. And it didn't have to necessarily be seen on film, where me, somebody who hadn't read the book, I'm not thinking about it, right? So it has really cool things like that. But I think the actors were good. I don't know who's playing Snow. It's somebody I've never seen before, and if I have, I don't recognize him, but I thought he was wonderful as Donald Sutherland. as President Snow, who's played by Donald Sutherland in the Hunger Games movies. Um, young Donald Sutherland. I mean, I guess that's right. And then, gosh, what's her name? The new Snow White. I don't know anybody's name. In the movie, her name is Lucy Gray Zegler. Rachel Zegler, is that it? I think that's her name. I thought she was good also, and I didn't know she had such a wonderful voice. I've seen West Side Story. She's in West Side Story, but I didn't really like that movie. But sorry, Steven Spielberg, my favorite director of all time. So I didn't feel much for her in that movie just because I didn't like the movie. But in this, I was like, wow, she is great. And I didn't know she had such a wonderful voice. There's a lot of singing in this movie. And that's what I like, one of the main things I like about it, because it really brings back the first Hunger Games. I don't know if you remember, and maybe the other ones did this too, but I feel like it wasn't marketed as well. But in the first Hunger Games, they made a like soundtrack. They had all sorts of different musicians. All sorts of different musicians make music for this. I think it was maybe like a 2-disc CD or something with specific music from the districts, right? I remember Kid Cudi was on there. Even Taylor Swift was on there. All the Swifties probably know all about it. And this movie had some wonderful music in it. I just love the music. Olivia Rodrigo, I don't know anybody's name. Olivia Rodrigo? Is that her name? I don't know. And then, like, she had a song at the end credits that was really good. And then Rachel Zegler also, you know, singing throughout the movie. It was so wonderful. Viola Davis is great. Peter Dinklage is great. Hunter Schafer is great. I want there to be sequels because I want to see Hunter Schafer's Tigress turn into the Tigress that we see in the later Hunger Games movies. I'd like to see that. I got them all here. We got we got like the DVD of the original Hunger Games film, and then also the Blu-ray. We upgraded that, and then we also have this DVD of Catching Fire right there. And then we have, it looks like a Blu-ray DVD of Mockingjay Part 1. And then just the DVD, this is all over the place, Mockingjay Part 2 DVD right there. So, not very consistent on our part, but, you know, and that we were there to watch the movies, I guess, not collect a box set. But they do have, I think, a really nice steel book of all of them right now. Where did I see that? Maybe it was Walmart? But anyway, I want to see Tigress turn into what we see in these films. I think that would be really cool. But here's the thing. This is why Donald Sutherland is one of the most wonderful actors out there. If you were watching these original Hunger Games movies and you're looking at Donald Sutherland observe Katniss, Jennifer Lawrence, as she is doing everything she's doing in those movies, you see something in his eye that isn't just I'm angry with her. There is something else there. It's not just, she's clever. There's something else there. And it's like we always knew something was there, but we could never really put our finger on it, I feel like. But when you watch this movie and you see his relationship, President Snow's relationship with Lucy Gray, and all the connections to District 12 and swamp potatoes. If you watch the movie, that will make more sense. And mockingjays. It all makes sense as to why Donald Sutherland is looking at her the way he's looking at her, because he's seeing his past in her, or a part of his past, someone from his past, and he's almost it's almost like he finds it humorous almost in a way, the way he's looking at Katniss. Like, go back and watch these movies if you haven't seen them in a while. Watch them and just watch Donald Sutherland's eyes, his face, his smirk, the slight smile. there is just something in him that is remembering this movie, the events that we see in this movie, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And I thought it was great, as did my wife. If I had to rank them, we did rewatch these not that long ago. So my wife read the book, but in the lead up to the book, we watched these, and then she read the book. So it's been kind of a while. But I'm honestly, I almost want to put this at number one, but I don't think I can. I think right now I'm feeling like it's my second favorite of the whole Hunger Games franchise. It really is that good. There's all sorts of like Art Deco going on. I like the production design. I love the sort of like, it's like retro future that we're seeing. All of that just looks so great. The way the technology functions, the way the technology looks, it's all futuristic beyond today, but also done in a like very like old style, not necessarily working style. Oh, also I need to mention the drummer from Phantom Planet. What is his name? He's in like Wes Anderson movies, and he's Rushmore. Gosh, I can't think of his name right now, but he plays Lucky Flickerman, right? And if you remember from the original Hunger Games, we have Caesar Flickerman, played by Stanley Tucci. He's played by Stanley Tucci, and I don't think I see a picture of him. Played by Stanley Tucci. So this is a tiny little spoiler here. There is a moment when, so again, this is a prequel. Ballad is a prequel. Lucky is on the phone and he's making dinner reservations, and then he says, "A table for two and a high chair." A high chair. Who's that? That's little Tucci. That's baby little Tucci that he's referring to, who will grow up and follow in his father's footsteps. That is, if you believe that Stanley Tucci's character is like 18 years younger than President Snow's in these films, which I feel like I can buy, especially with all the work they get done in the movie. But that's another thing. I like that he's kind of the Flickerman's kind of the main comic relief here, right? The Capitol hasn't become extremely garish yet with their costuming and everything, but I feel like it's on the way because Flickerman gets his big break and he is very flamboyant, and I think he has will have an immense influence on the culture of the Capitol in terms of fashion, and they will go further in the way they present themselves, sort of like these Rococo clowns, right? I don't know. I really loved all of that. The visuals, the technology of that world, the world building, all of that was wonderful. I was a big fan. So I'm surprised at how much I liked it. I didn't expect to walk out of it thinking this is a great mainstream movie, wonderful mainstream movie. Talks a lot about, I guess, politics too, in a way, class divisions, things like that. All of that is good too, but also just as a beautiful work of art. The IMAX, we watched it in IMAX, and the IMAX scenes were beautiful. They were gorgeous. There's a lot of exteriors out in like woods and lakes and what look like prairies perhaps, and they are just so pretty. So pretty to look at on the IMAX. I wonder if my IMAX got like a new bulb or something, because I felt like it looked like one of the crispest films I've seen there in a long time. So they must have updated the bulbs, because it looked great. So yeah, for me, when it comes to the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which makes sense when you watch it, it's a win for me. It's a win for me. Good mainstream stuff. I dig it. So, have you seen the movie? Did you watch it this weekend? Is it going to make mad bank? Do you think it's going to perform really well? Are they going to make more because there are no more books? This movie could have been 2 films. It could have been, well, probably could have been 3 films. Actually, it's told in chapters, and they could have easily extended them if they wanted to and really drew this out into a trilogy, but they didn't. They made it 1 movie, and there's a moment where you're like, well, the movie could sure end right here, and it doesn't. And it keeps going, and I appreciate that they did that. I thought it was great, but I would like to see more of President Snow as he makes his way towards becoming president. I think that would be great. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the film if you watched it. I'd love to know in the comments below. I'll dive into that section and then we can talk about this movie. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.